Hello guys, so I tell like it is. In this video, I wanted to talk about the deaths of Dennis Green, Nancy Bidwill, and Dan Rooney, and why all three deaths are going to be really key tributes for this Super Bowl. Dennis Green used to coach the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. Once again, I'm predicting the Cardinals to win Super Bowl 52. Larry Fitzgerald would win the Super Bowl at his hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Dennis Green's death occurred right before the new Vikings Stadium opened, U.S. Bank Stadium. He died a day before the inaugural ceremonies over at the new stadium. And this, after all, is the site of Super Bowl 52. So Dennis Green's death would have to connect to Super Bowl 52. He was Larry Fitzgerald's first coach in the NFL. And here's a mistake for you people to learn last year, and don't go someone else's route of saying, they flipped the script. The reason why Dennis Green was not a championship tribute last year for Vikings Colts is because he died at 67 years old, and blood sacrifice equals 67. Hillary Clinton was the 67th Secretary of State. I did not know much about the number 67 last year, but now I understand, and this year he would have been 68 years old, and this is a championship number in gematria, because championship in gematria equals 68. Dennis Green would have been 68 years old, Larry Fitzgerald's first head coach. He is going to be a really key tribute. And Dennis Green was born on February 17th. His birthday this year, 2017, before the Super Bowl. Well, actually, in the year that the Arizona Cardinals win the Super Bowl, right after the Cardinals win, his birthday numerology adds up to 57. Okay, I have to add 2018, but if this is 2018, his birthday numerology for that year would equal 57, the year the Cardinals win the Super Bowl. 57 is another championship number because it equals 131 in numerology. His death last year, 68 years old, if he was still alive right before this year's Super Bowl, was really significant championship tribute for the last team he coached, the Arizona Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald's first coach. I'm starting to like the Steelers more and more now over the New England Patriots. I'm already sold on the Pittsburgh Steelers losing Super Bowl 52. Green equals 31. Steelers equals 31. But interesting that Dennis Green in gematria equals 60. The NFC Championship game matchup, I'm predicting Cardinals versus Saints. Once again, I'm predicting the Cardinals to have a first-round bye with 2 home wins in the playoffs. The Cardinals would be 6-0 in the playoffs at home at University of Phoenix Stadium, January the 21st of 2018. Date numerology also adds up to 60. This is a really interesting tribute. Bruce Arians is going to be 65 years old this year when the Cardinals play in the Super Bowl. Dennis Earl Green, the short way, equals 65. This is the Cardinals' 119th season this year. Dennis E. Green, Master Plan, the Zionists, the Masons at Rig Sports, All Seeing Eye, Star of David, the Dennis Green Death Ritual, all equal 119. This all connects to the Cardinals' 119th season. Dennis Green died because of a supposed heart attack. Heart attack, 108. Pittsburgh also equals 108. The Steelers remain at 6 Super Bowl titles. It is interesting, too, that the amount of time between Dennis Green's death date and Bruce Arians' birthday is a time span of 74 days. This is a God number in gematria. The Catholic belief in God, the Messiah in gematria equals 74. I talked about how the red Arizona Cardinals represent the Pope's ordained bishops. The College of Cardinals, the 74 reference, is really interesting. But the amount of time between Dennis Green's death date and the day of the NFC Championship game, once again, Dennis Green equals 60, date numerology 60, Cardinals versus Saints 60, is a time span of 184 days. This only solidifies my belief in a Cardinals over Saints NFC Championship game, like I mentioned before, because Cardinals Steelers equals 184, Super Bowl 52 84, Arizona Jesuit, the Catholic Church 84. Like I've said, there are other two deaths too that I want to go into really quickly. The Steelers owner and chairman, Dan Rooney, he died at 84 years old last year, April the 13th, 2017. Super Bowl 52, 84, Jesuit, Arizona, 84. The amount of time span between his death date and the day of next year's Super Bowl is a time span of 68 days. Now, this would mean that the Steelers would be playing for a championship. In my online calculator, the death date for Dan Rooney in 2018 is pretty significant, right after the Steelers lose the Super Bowl. Let's see. Actually, is death date numerology before the Super Bowl, okay, April the 13th. His death date when he actually died equals 54. Recall that Jesuit order equals 54 as well. Keep that in mind too. Key number, special number for this Super Bowl. Steelers will be playing for a championship. Not only did the Irish Catholic Dan Rooney died, but also on the other aisle, the Arizona Cardinals wife of Bill Bidwill, Nancy Bidwill, died at 84 years old on August the 17th of 2016. Interesting enough, August the 17th of 2016. Her birthday or death date numerology of the year that the Cardinals play in the Super Bowl, 17 equals 26. The year that she actually died, 2016, equals 25. Pope equals 25. A really special number. The reflection of 52. Now, the year that the Cardinals win the Super Bowl, in 2018, her death date numerology would be 27. There have been 26 prior NFC champions. The Arizona Cardinals would be the 27th NFC champion to win the Super Bowl. So there have been 26 prior NFC teams that have won the Super Bowl. The Arizona Cardinals would be the 27th NFC team to win the Super Bowl in 2018. Her death numerology in that year equals 27. Her death definitely is a special tribute. The amount of time between her death and February the 4th is a time span of 171 days, a direct reference, because the Arizona Cardinals win Super Bowl 52 equals 171, Catholic equals 71. Now going back to Super Bowl 52, it is going to be played at Minneapolis, Minnesota, to review once again with the Jesuit tribute, Vatican City, where the Pope and the College of Cardinals reside, in Minneapolis, all equal 127. That 27 again, the Cardinals would be the 27th NFC team to win the Super Bowl, if I'm right about this year. But let's add up all of Dennis Green's victories as a coach in every single league that he has coached. He won 26 games with in college football. God equals 26. Once again, you can see above, gematria, the practice of coding letters into numbers, the code of God, letter equals 26. Interesting enough that the architect of the universe centered gematria and life around numbers and letters with key significance. So you see, Dennis Green won 26 games as a college coach. He won a total of 113 games in the NFL. Let's see, 113, 18, 121. Let's see. actually doesn't have 127 victories as a coach. I thought he had 127 victories as a coach, but I just want to add the amount of victories he had really quickly. The amount of victories he had in college and in the NFL equals 139. Keep in mind that Freemasonry equals 139. Retire equals 39. I'm predicting Fitzgerald and Carson Palmer to retire after this year. Possibly Bruce Arians too. Also Arizona equals 39. So this is the significance of the amount of wins he had in college and in the NFL. There have been 97 prior seasons in the NFL. Larry Darnell Fitzgerald Jr. equals 97. 97 prior seasons entering this year. He may be the narrative of this football season. Larry Darnell Fitzgerald. Dennis Green's best season as a coach occurred during the 98 NFL season. In this year is the 98th NFL season. As you know, the Vikings failed to win the Super Bowl that year. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC Championship game. The Atlanta Falcons won the NFC in the prior year. So Dennis Green's best chance to win a championship was in the 98 season as a head coach, and this is the 98th season, and the Super Bowl is being played at Minnesota, and Larry Fitzgerald's first coach was Dennis Green. The Arizona Cardinals may win the Super Bowl in the year 98. Just very, very funny how they script the world of sports that way. Arizona Cardinals, 16 letters. He won 16 games that year. This is the significance of 1998 and the year 97. The Vikings were 9-7. They still managed to reach the playoffs that year, and the last time the Arizona Cardinals reached the Super Bowl, they were 9-7 when they played against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl. So his 2 years that he was a coach, 97, 98 with the Vikings, definitely connects to this year. And also, he had a total of 26 victories combined for both of these years. 26 prior NFC champions that have won the Super Bowl. God equals 26 once again. The Cardinals, the Catholic team with all these Jesuit connections. Time span of 198 days from Dennis Green's death date to Super Bowl 52 in the 98th NFL season. That's really interesting to note also. 184 days. I already covered that. The last thing that I need to cover is the fact that U.S. Bank Stadium, is located at 401st Chicago Avenue. Now, why did they name it Chicago Avenue? People were upset because their rival is the Chicago Bears. Well, the reason why they named it 401st Chicago Avenue is because the Arizona Cardinals, believe it or not, used to be the Chicago Cardinals. They played in Chicago from 1920 to 1943. In the years 1945 to 1959, 45, really special number, Pittsburgh equals 45. The Cardinals and the Steelers used to be the same team together, 44 and 19 out of the 63. With the loss in the Super Bowl, the Pittsburgh Steelers can be 6-3 in the Super Bowl. With a win in the Super Bowl, the Arizona Cardinals will be 1-1 in the Super Bowl. And you know that Larry Fitzgerald wears number 11. Dennis Green is a really, really special death tribute to a Cardinals Super Bowl championship this year. His death, the real tribute for his death was for Super Bowl 52 and not for last year's Super Bowl. And also the deaths of the wife of Bill Bidwill, Nancy Bidwill, and Dan Rooney are further signs that this may be Cardinals over Steelers for this year's Super Bowl. So the Patriots are definitely not alone.